So in the last class, what we have learned the some particular introduction related to the
Yeah,
Python, like what are the different data types are available, what is the tokens concept, what is
yeah,
identifiers, what is literals, what is keywords, what is operators, what is
operators.
comparators, and how to install the Python. In this
Yes,
particular class, we are going to understand how to write the Python code and what are the different ways are there where you can write the Python code and you can check some particular output. First, we'll
yes,
go with the without particular softwares. Okay, without softwares means if I don't wanted to install my Python software and then I wanted to check some particular code. The
okay,
first thing, okay, so here I'm going to write in the same particular online particular website. The first one is the online website. So there are different types of online websites are there. Just you need to type here online Python interpreter. Once you type the online interpreter, you can see there are different particular websites. There are hundreds of websites are there where you can go that particular website and directly you can write your particular Python code. Let me open one particular website here. Okay, and here you're getting some particular window here. Okay, so in this particular window, okay, you can split also, you can use the split mode also, and if you increase it, then it will go the two particular different section. So this is the first particular section. Now you can see here, this one website is there, simple, there is a editor is there, and if I click on the run button here, I'll get the output if I don't wanted to install any particular software. But for this particular purpose, compulsory my particular device must be connected with the internet, then only I can able to access some online websites. So simply, for example, let's take an example here. I wanted to just store two values and then I wanted to generate some particular result. Okay, then we'll go with all the fundamentals one by one. But just for understanding purpose, we are doing some small particular code. So here I'm going to store some
okay,
particular values. A equals to something, B equals to something, and here I'm writing here C equals to A plus B, and here I'm going to write the print C here. Now, once I write this particular code this side, if I click on this particular run, and here I'm going to get some particular output here. Got it? This is the first particular method. But you can see here, this is just a website only. And if I refresh something, okay, if I refresh, now my particular code is going not, the particular code is not available here, whatever I have written. So just assume I wanted to save this particular files. So there is a one particular Google product is there. Okay, like we have Google Drive is there, Google Excel sheet is there. There is a one more particular website is there, Google Colab. Okay, so here it is similar to the Jupyter notebook which we have installed, but Jupyter notebook comes with the one particular offline particular software which we have installed, but this is like an online purpose. So what you need to do here, just you need to click on this particular Google Colab website. Once you open this, now it's going to give you one particular option, create a new notebook here. Once you click on this particular new notebook, now here you can give some particular file name also. Okay, still it is loading. Okay, now you can here you can give some particular file name. Let me give this particular file name like something file one. Okay, now this particular file is going to be saved and it is going to be saved in your particular drive. Okay, and next what I need to do here, I can able to write some particular code. Now you can see there's a play button is there, right? So here you can able to write something. For example, here I'm going to write a equals to 10, b equals to 2, okay, c equals to a plus b, and here I'm going to write print c here. Okay, and once you click on this particular play button, this particular code is going to be executed and bottom side you will get the output here.
okay.
Okay, it is taking some time. So,
Yeah. Actually, go over here. We use this one on this Google Colab.
yes. Okay, so like you can see here, we are getting the answer as a 12.
Okay.
Okay, like this you can create n number of particular files. You can create n number of particular new notebook files, and all these files are going to be saved in your particular drive, Google Drive. Okay, so this is the online purpose. Now what we wanted to do, I need to write the offline purpose also. So offline purpose also, there is a one particular you can open as a one more software like Visual Studio Code. Okay, for example, this Visual Studio Code is already installed in my laptop. So here there is a one software is there, Visual Studio Code, and just you need to download this. There is a simple steps should be there. Next, you have to just install this. Once you install this particular software, you can open this particular software, Visual Studio Code. This is the software, and once you open this particular software, you can open your particular folder, like where you wanted to save your particular files. Okay, so here you will get the open folder option. So once I click on this particular open folder, so my files are saved in May folder 5 p.m. Okay, now I wanted to select this particular folder, 5 p.m. folder, and okay, now in this there are two nodes files are there, like the last classes. Now I wanted to create one more particular file here. You can go to the click on the file and new file also, or else what you can do, you can use the shortcut button as a new file also. So here you have to click on the new file. For example, I'm giving file name as a first, okay, .py. Okay, or else you can give any particular name here. It is not like you have to give first only. You can give any particular name. Okay, let me give one.py also. Okay, so now you can see one file is created here. Simple, same. What you have to do here, you have to create some particular variables. A equals to something, b equals to something. Okay, c equals to a plus b, and then print c. Okay, you have to save this, and then you have to click on this particular play button, and in the bottom side you can see there is a terminal option is open, and now you can see you're getting the answer as a 30.
Okay.
Okay, this is the one particular way. Or else what I wanted to do, there is a one software which we have installed in the last class. Let's use that particular software. So same thing, what you need to do here, if I wanted to open that particular software, you have to go to this particular, okay, this particular directory folder area, and just you have to write cmd. Okay, nothing but I'm opening this particular folder in the command prompt. Okay,
Okay.
so once you can see here May 5 p.m. folder is open as a command prompt. If you just normally open the command prompt, it will open in the C drive. Now you can see here this is the C drive. So if you directly open the command prompt, it will be saved in the all the files will be saved in the C drive. If you open the command prompt in the specific folder, that files will be saved on that particular folder. Okay, so let me just
Okay.
open once again. Simply what you need to do, you have to go to this particular area, folder area, wherever you wanted to click on it, and just type cmd. Okay, then command prompt will be open on the specific folder. Then you have to open the editor. Which editor you wanted to open? You wanted to open the Jupyter notebook. This is the editor which we have installed in the last class, like
Yeah.
pip install notebook. So once you enter this particular command, then this particular editor is going to be open in the browser, like how Google Colab is open in the browser. Same thing, it is going to be open in the browser. So if you have installed the Safari or any particular Brave or any Microsoft or Mozilla, whatever the like browser you are using, in that particular browser it is going to be open. Now you can see here it is showing already some files are created here. I wanted to create the new file. So simply you have to click on the new button and click on the notebook. So here one new particular files is going to be created here. Okay, and now you
Okay.
can, if you wanted to change the name of the file, you can change the name of the file. So here we are in this particular file, I'm going to give this name as a one basic, and just click on the rename. So now you can see file name is created, and here we can write some particular code here. Okay, you can zoom also. If you wanted to zoom it, you can increase the zoom also here, or else you can decrease the zoom also. Okay, now if I wanted to write some particular code, you can write here. So first of all, you can see here I'm going to write how to print any statement or value in Python. Basic things. Everything we are going to start with the basic. So now you can see here, once I write this, and if I click on this particular play button, now you can see nothing is working here. Now you can see only the lines is changing. Now you can see this is second line is there. And third time I'm executing, fourth time I'm executing. But are you getting any output here?
No.
No. Why? Because this is called comment. What we call
Yeah. Command.
comment. What is the meaning of the comment? Comment means whenever you are working with any particular files, and in this particular files you are going to write n number of particular lines of code. Now, when you're writing the n number of lines of code, now you have to understand, okay, these particular lines are not going to be only for me. This is for the entire particular team, entire for the company. Maybe I'm not going to be available for the next month, maybe for the next project, or maybe I'm going to switch the companies also, switch the projects also. In my particular place, there are other some particular developers are going to be work. So on that time, just assume, okay, I'm working in one particular project. Now I have left the company and you have joined on my particular seat. Okay. Now what you have done, you have opened that particular file. Now there are some, assume there are 200 lines are written. Now in that particular 200 lines, okay, there is a no particular notes or remarks or references written. Like what is the purpose of this particular file? Okay, some formula is created. What is the purpose of this particular formula? Is there any connection between the line number 10 and 20? Nothing is written here. So it will be easy for you to understand that particular file.
No.
No, right? Why? Because there is a no references added, there is a no notes are added, there is a no remarks are added. So in my particular file, okay, if I wanted to add some particular notes or remarks, then that particular notes or remarks in programming language we call comment.
Comment.
So whenever you mention the hashtag, and after the hashtag, if you write something, it will be refers as your particular internal notes. And this is not going to be affect to the output.
Okay.
Okay, notes, remarks, or what is the purpose of the code, like why we are writing. Now you can see here, whenever I'm running this, you can see we are not getting any particular output. Okay, now once I'm not using this particular hashtag and I'm going to write something, now you can see here I'm writing print, and here I'm writing something 10 here. So now 10 is printing here. But if I write the same
Okay.
thing, hashtag print 10, I'm not getting the output. So I'm using the shortcut button shift plus enter to
Okay.
get the execution. Okay, shift plus enter button for output. Okay, this is a shortcut. Or else you can
Okay.
click on this particular play button. Okay, so but
Okay.
as a developers, okay, we need to understand the shortcuts also, because okay, we don't use all the buttons. Okay, we use the almost shortcut keys only. Okay, whatever the
Okay.
editor we are using. So here, what is the difference here? In the line number 6 we are getting the output, but line number 7 we are not getting the output. Why? Because now your particular program is understanding this is not a lines of code, this is just a comment for the internal purpose only, so it is not
Yeah.
going to be executable. Clear this point?
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Now coming to the print function. So print is a one type of function which is used to execute something. So if I wanted to generate some particular output, then I can use this particular print. So in this particular print, you can pass one value also, two values also, three values also, four values, n number of particular values you can pass. For example, now you can see here, if I'm passing here print 10 comma 20, so now two values are going to be executed. So this comma is used for the separation, means this is different value, that is different value.
Yes.
Clear? Now, I can pass any particular string values also, but if I'm mentioning the string value, what I need to mention, I need to mention a single quotes or double quotes. Okay, for example, now you can see here I'm mentioning hi, welcome, or else you can mention like this double quotes also. Clear?
Yes.
Okay, and same thing. Okay, something like welcome. Okay, and here I'm mentioning 10. So different values also you can pass. You can pass integer, float also, integer, float, string, any combination values also you can print. There is a no particular restrictions are there, like at a time you wanted to pass only similar type of values, so there is a no particular conditions are there. You can pass different types of values at the time of same execution.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah. So this colon and everything is to be mandatory, right? The
Which one?
this
This
hyphen and
bracket?
everything, brackets and everything. Yeah,
Yes,
comma.
this is
If we
mandatory.
don't write the brackets and hyphens, if we just write welcome 10, will it give the output?
No, no, no. Okay,
Won't.
why? Because print is a function. What is
Yeah.
print? It is a function. Okay, print is a function. It is a ready-made function. So
Okay.
basically, function in the programming, functions are used to execute something. Whenever I wanted to execute something, I wanted to generate some particular result, I use functions. So there are two types of functions are there. We are going to create our own customized functions, and there are some ready-made functions are there. So first we are going to use some ready-made functions, and after some particular class, we are going to understand how we can create our own customized functions also. Got it?
Okay. Yeah.
So simply, what is the use of the, whenever you find this parenthesis, this is called normal open bracket, close bracket, we say parenthesis also. In programming, we say parenthesis. So
Parenthesis.
whenever after the name, if you are using the parenthesis, it means it is a function.
Okay.
Okay, there are some functions are there which is going to accept the value while execution. Means if I'm writing the print like this, it means I'm executing something. So as of now,
Okay.
we are getting the empty value because we have not passed any particular value. So if I wanted to pass any particular values here, okay, compulsory, okay, I need to pass in the bracket only. Okay, for example, if
Okay.
I'm writing something like print, and after that I'm writing something 10 comma 20. So here I'm
Okay.
getting one
Okay.
particular error as a syntax error. What is the meaning of the syntax? Syntax are nothing but the behavior of the writing. Okay,
Okay.
format, how to write something. Normally in um, generally in maths we referred as a formulas, in
Yeah.
physics we referred as a theories. Okay, so similarly in programming we use the words as a syntax. So syntax is just a word which is used to understand like how we are going to write something, how we are going to uh, any particular thing I wanted to execute, what is the format is there.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So if you face any particular difficulty, just ask the question on the same time only. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
So now simply we have this particular print function. Print function is used to execute something. So here I can execute any particular values also, and these values may be going to save inside into some particular variables also. So as of now, we have just mentioned the directly values. Now what I wanted to do, I wanted to store these particular values. So here I'm going to write the comment, how to store the values. Value is nothing but the data.
Data.
Okay, so 10 is the data, welcome is the data, Sachin is the data, 200 is the data, true is the data, false is the data. So I wanted to store the data and then I wanted to execute that particular data. So here, if I wanted to store the data, in the last class also we have understand the concept called variables. What is the use of the variable? Variable is used to store the data. Got it? Okay,
Yes.
so whenever I wanted to store any particular data, I need to use the variable. But how to use the variable? So that concept is called aspect of the variable. What we call
Aspect of the variable.
aspect of the variable. Okay, in the last classes, I'm using the notepad to write all the notes, but
Okay.
from this particular classes, all the notes and practical I'm going to write in this particular files only.
Okay.
So there will be no confusion, like you don't need to check this file, that file. Okay, everything is going to come line by line only. Okay, that's why
Okay.
this particular editor is very beginner friendly editor, where we can write all the things at the same particular time. Okay,
Okay.
so now the concept is aspect of the variable. Now what is the aspect of the variable? As the aspect of the variable means if I wanted to use the variable, how to use the variable? So there are three particular categories there. It is divided into three sections, three stages. Okay, declaration. Okay, second one is called defining, and third one is called accessing. Declaration means here we are assigning the name of the variable, means what name I wanted to assign. If I wanted to use that particular value, I wanted to store that particular value, where I need to store it, should be name should be required. Okay, for example, I'm launching one particular Apple phone. So
Yeah.
then how I'm going to refer that particular, how I'm going to access that particular phone? There will be some name will be there. Okay, Okay, just I've given 16. Okay, in 16 there are four categories are there. Okay, how are you going to refer that particular four categories? So there will be some names will be. Just assume, okay, 16 mini, 16 plus, 16 pro max, okay, 16 pro. So there are four different categories are there. So how we are going to refer this thing? So simply you create some particular variable, but how you're going to understand this is a variable, okay? Later, if I wanted to use that particular data, how I'm going to use that particular. So for that purpose, we need to give the name. Okay, in the last class, we have already learned what are the naming rules are there. So you have to remember all the particular fundamental what we have learned in the last class. Okay,
Yes.
because those fundamentals are going to be used in each and every particular classes. So first of
Okay.
all, we have to give some particular name here. Okay, next thing, okay, defining area. Defining area means what to store, or okay, here we are storing the data. Means, are you storing integer data? Are you storing any particular floating data? Are you storing any particular boolean type of data? Are you storing any string value? What actually you are storing? So here you have to mention in the second stage. Third way is nothing but once you have given name, once you store the data, how to access the data. So here we are accessing or using or printing the data.
Data.
Okay, or
Okay.
execute, whatever the word you wanted to use, you can use this. Okay, simply in the what is the syntax here? Okay, let me write the syntax here. So in other programming languages, like type to programming language, Python is a dynamically typed. There are type to programming languages. In the type to programming languages, declaration and defining we can divide as a separate stages. But coming to
Okay.
the Python programming language, declaration and defining both in the same stage. Interview question. Why? Because in the type of programming language, we can mention the type of the data. But here in the Python programming language, we don't need to mention what type of data we are storing here. It is automatically understand because it's a dynamically typed programming language. Example, let me open one particular C language compiler. So don't worry, okay, we are not learning the C language, just for
Yeah.
differentiate purpose, understanding purpose only. So here what I wanted to do, I wanted to write something like integer a, and then I'm storing a equals to 10, and here I'm going to write the printf, okay, percentage d and a variable. Now, so what is happening if I run this particular code? This is going to be executable as a 10. Okay, so here this integer a means we are declaring. This is called declaration, means we are assigning
Yeah.
the name here. Then defining area means we are storing something, and then this is called access area. Clear?
Yeah. Clear.
Okay, this is the C language scenario. Okay, so can I take the screenshot? Let me check. Screenshot is not coming. Okay, so let me just write here. Let me copy this, and here I'm going to write type to programming language example. Okay, like this. Okay, now same thing if I wanted to do with the Python. What is the syntax in the Python?
Okay.
So simply in the Python programming language, just you have to mention the variable name, whatever the name you wanted to give, and just you have to give the value. That's it. And if you wanted to access this, so here you have to mention the print function, and then what variable name you have given, that particular variable name you have to mention. So here we are declaring, okay, declaration also plus defining area, and here we have the access area. Clear this point?
Yes.
Okay, now let's go to the next particular one, how to store the data. So here I'm going to store the different values here. Let me store a equals to 10, okay, something, b equals to 20.34, c equals to something, okay, hi welcome, okay. d equal to something true. Okay, now we have stored the different types of values here, right? Now if I wanted to check all these particular values, I can check here print a, okay, perfectly working. If I write print b, perfectly working. Print c, perfectly working. Print d also perfectly working here. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so all the values are stored and we are checking all the values. Now I wanted to check whatever the value I have stored, this value belongs to the specific data type or not. Example, I have stored a equals to
Okay.
10, it is an integer or not. I wanted to check b equals to 20.34, it is a float value or not. I wanted to check c equals to high welcome, string value or not. D equals to true, nothing but float value or not. So how are we going to check this? There is a one ready-made function is there. There is function name called type function. Type function, and then here you can mention the variable name. Okay. So what it is used? It is
Okay.
used to check the type of the data which we have stored here. Similarly, you can see here if I write type of the A, we'll get that particular type integer. If I mention type of the B, I'll get that particular type of the B. If I'm mentioning type of the C, I'm getting the type of the C. And same thing, type of the D, you can see we are getting that particular Boolean value.
Yeah.
Clear this point?
Yes, sir.
Now, next thing. Here, I wanted to print statement and variables both at a particular time. Can I execute both statement and variables? Yes, using the print function. So here just you need to mention print, and here what particular statement and variables you wanted to print. For example, I wanted to print something like hi, and then I'm
Sir,
mentioning the
just a
a
minute,
variable.
sir. My screen is again stuck actually. I think.
Okay, just rejoin quickly. I'll wait. Now, have any doubt, any questions?
No, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yes. Okay, one student
Did
is
we take
joining.
physical classes?
Yes.
Physical classes will be in the only in the morning time.
What time, sir?
As of now, batches are already full, like already like in the middle. Maybe
Yeah.
in the next week or maybe next month, we will start the new batches, physical batches.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So let's continue this. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
here, what we are printing, we are executing statement and variables both at a time. So here you can see here print hi and a. So hi is a statement and a is the variable. So just we need to mention the comma. So comma is used for again separations. Like if you are passing two values also or statement and variables also, you can execute this because In the A also nothing but value is saved. Earlier what we are doing here, if I go to the above lines, now we are writing welcome 10. So welcome also value, 10 also value, but what are the different type of data? So here also you can see I also one type of value only. In the A also some value is saved. Is it clear? Yes, no.
Yes, yes.
Okay, clear this point?
Yeah.
Now you can execute n number of particular variables and value. For example, a comma b comma c comma d. Like this, you can execute n number of particular values, n number of variables, statement plus variables also, statement plus variable plus statement plus variable. Any combination you can work.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah.
Just the thing is, you have for differentiation purpose, this or that you have to mention the comma. That is the only thing. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Any
Okay.
doubt? Any questions till now?
No.
No. Let's go to the next. Next, what I want how to assign the values in different particular format here. So there are two ways are there you can assign the values. That is called, first one is called single assignment, and the second one is called multi assignment. Single assignment means at a time you are storing only single value. For example, a equals to 10 is there, b equals to 20 is there, c equals to 30 is there. So here at a time how many values we are storing? Only one value we are storing. But coming to the multi assignment, multi assignment means at a time we are going to store the multiple values. Example, I'm storing a comma b equals to 10 comma something 20. I'm going to store a comma b comma c equals something 100, 200 or 300. Or else I'm storing a comma b comma c comma d equals something 10, 12 point some 3, 4. Okay, something high. I'm storing some 2. Like this, any particular format. Okay, now you can see a is stored, b is also stored, c also stored. Okay, d also stored. Means at a time what we are doing, we are storing the multiple values here. That is called multi-assignment. You can store the same particular values into multiple variables also. For example, a equals to b equals to c equals to something 1000. So what will happen? A also 1000, b also
We
1000, c also 1000. Okay, this is called multi-assignment. Means at a time you are storing multiple values. Single assignment means at a time you are storing only single values.
One.
Clear this point?
Yes, sir.
Now, next thing. Till now we are storing the directly value. There is a one more concept called input function. So input function is used to store the data during the runtime. Okay, during the runtime or from user input. Okay, so this is the input function is there. So how we are going to write the input function? Simply you are going to use the input function and then run it. So now you can see you are getting some particular box here, and here I'm mentioning something 100. So now 100 is printing here. Simply if I'm write something input, okay, and here I'm going to write here something, okay, and here I'm going to write something welcome. Now welcome is printing. Now input function is nothing but whenever you run the code, after running that particular code, some values you wanted to accept, okay, means during the executions, during the runtime, then these particular values can be acceptable using the input function. Till now what we are doing, just we are creating the variable, directly we are storing the values. Here we are not directly storing the values. After running, so in the upcoming classes you get the better idea like why we are using the input functions.
Yep.
Okay, is it clear till now?
Yes, sir.
Now in this particular, now you can see here, if I'm running this particular input function, now you can see I'm running this input function. Are we getting any particular message like what is the purpose of this particular input function?
No.
Are we getting any references?
No.
No, there is no particular references there. Simply we are getting one box, we are entering the value. Now if I wanted to pass any particular references inside of this particular input function, we need to pass the reference as a quotes. For example, here I'm mentioning enter your name here. So once I run this, are you getting any reference here now with the box?
Yes.
Yes, now we are getting the reference. So if I wanted to pass any particular reference, Okay, if I run my particular program, now user has to enter some particular values. Now here using this particular, in the codes, you have to give some particular reference. Okay, whatever you have passed, same particular is going to be displayed beside of this particular box. Then user will understand, okay, here I need to enter some particular name here. Clear this point?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now next question. If I directly interview question, okay, if I directly give this particular input function, these values are going to be stored or not?
Mm,
The answer is no, because whenever you wanted to store the data, compulsory you have to use the variables. Without variables, we cannot able to store the data. Compulsory we have to use the variables to store the data. Okay, so here I'm going to use something. Okay, for example, here I'm mentioning username equals to, now I'm giving the input function. Okay, now I'm giving the input function, and here I'm going to write enter your name. Okay, now once I run this, now you can see we're getting one particular box, and if I'm writing something Sachin, so now once I check, okay, once I check print, and here I'm going to check username, so here we are getting the Sachin. Now Sachin is saved inside of this particular variable. So here directly we are not storing the data, we are accepting the data from the runtime. Clear?
yeah.
Now next thing, typecasting. So what is the use of the typecasting? Typecasting is used to use the data with different type, with different type according to the requirement. Example, okay, there is a one particular director is there, okay, Rajamouli. Now he is going to, okay, cast one particular actor. Actor name is NTR. Now Rajamouli is going to cast two particular films, okay, film 1 and film 2. In the film 1, okay, Rajamouli is going to cast NTR and as a villain. In the second movie, okay, he's going to cast as a hero. So NTR is changing, NTR is
Characters.
not
No,
changing. Only
Characters.
the work is changing, only the
character is
character is changing. Okay, so same thing here also. Okay, we have stored some particular data. Now I wanted to use the data as an integer. I wanted to use the data as a string format, or else from the string format I wanted to use the data as an integer, or else I wanted to use that as a float. So here data is not changing, type of the data is changing, the behavior of the working of the data is changing. If I wanted to perform this particular work, this particular concept is called typecasting. Clear this point?
Yes, sir.
Now, to perform this particular typecasting, we have some ready-made functions are there. Integer function, float function, string function, like this. Example purpose. Now, if I'm storing any particular data, just assume I'm creating n1 as a number 1 equals to, let's use the input function. And here I'm saying like enter, okay, number 1 value. Okay, number 1 value. Similarly, I wanted to copy this particular lines, and here I'm going to change the one more variable as a n2. And here I'm going to store one particular result. Result equals to n1 plus n2. Now I wanted to check what actually I have stored here. So let me add some decoration lines. And here I'm going to write something like number one value is this n1. Okay. I'm going to copy this particular statement. Okay, and here I'm going to write number 2 value is n2. Okay, and here I'm going to write, okay, number 1 plus number 2. This is my result here. Okay, this is result is save in the result variable, right? Clear this point? Now
Yeah.
I wanted to run this particular code. Now you can see enter number 1 value something 10, enter number 2 value, let's enter 20. Now what we are getting as the output? So number 1 value is 10, correct. Number 2 is 20, perfectly accepting. But number 1 plus number 2 is doing the 10, 20. Why it is printing 10 and 20? What we have done here, we have done the addition only, right? If I store normally also, you can see, if I'm storing normally, n1 equals to 10, okay, n2 equals to 20, and if I write result equals to n1 plus n2, okay, and here I'm going to print the result. So what we are getting? We are getting the 30. But in this particular case, what is happening? We are getting the different values, 10, 20 perfectly storing, but result is different. The question is why? Now let me check. Okay. Now let me check. For example, if I store a equals to 10, b equals to 20, and if I check, okay, print type of the a, comma, type of the b here. Okay. So what it is printing? It is storing as an integer and integer. But if you write the same thing, print of the type of the n1, comma, type of the n2. So what type of data it is holding? It is holding the string data. Okay. So here, whenever you store any particular data using the input function, because here this is a not a type 2 programming language. So in the dynamically typed programming language, by default, whatever the data, okay, you are going to store using the input function, it is going to be saved as a string format by default. But later, if I wanted to change that particular data, I wanted to use the data as an integer, yes, I can able to use this. How we can use this? For example, now you can see a equals to 10 is there, okay, and type of this particular a is integer. But if I write something like this, b equals to, okay, I'm storing b equals to a. So what is the b value? 10 only. Type of the b, integer only, because still we have not done any particular major changes. Same thing we are storing here. Clear this point? Yes,
Yes.
no?
Yes.
Now what I'm doing here, I'm going to store b equals to float of a. What I'm writing here? B equals to float of a. So now once I print the b value, what it is storing? 10.0. Okay, and check type of this particular b variable. It is a float here. Why? Because here we have converted the value as a float. That is called typecasting. Clear? Yes, no?
Yes.
Integer function, float function, string function. Now what I wanted to do, same thing. Okay, for example, now I'm taking one more b variable as a, but here I wanted to store as a string. So now what will happen? B remains 10 only. But if you check type of this particular b, it is going to be converted as a string. Clear this point? Yes, no? So simply let's go back to our particular program. Now there are two ways are there to convert this particular default string value as a integer. The first one is whenever you're storing the result, here also you can convert integer of n1 and integer of particular n2. Okay, this is one type of method. Now once I run this, now if I write 10 and 20, now you can see here we're getting the 30. Or else what you can do here, instead of storing not directly, okay, we can convert this particular in a separate particular section also. Like for example, n1 and n2 I want like this only. For example, a equals to separate particular variable, integer of a. Okay, b equals to, sorry, integer of n1, b equals to integer of n2, and here you are changing the values as a comma b here. And same thing here also you are changing a and b here. Okay, and now once I run this, enter some particular values 10, 20, you're getting the same type of 30 result.
Okay.
Or else what you can do, third method, okay, you don't want it to change the values, and separate particular way also you don't want it to execute, then directly also while storing the data, so here directly here the actual data first, in the first step only the data is storing, right? So here directly what I can do, I can convert this as a integer. Okay, here also I can able to convert this. Okay, so what will happen? While storing the data, it is going to convert as an integer, then it is going to store. Later, you don't need to convert here. Okay, and now once I run this 10, 20, now you can see 30 values. Clear this point?
Yeah.
Yes, no?
Yeah.
Any doubt, any questions?
No.
Okay. So as of now, just practice these particular things. In the next class, what we are going to learn, we are going to understand, okay, there is a one concept called escape sequence. What is the escape sequence concept is there? And then we are going to learn how to work with the string and like how to store the string in different particular format and what are the different string operations are there, what are the string some ready-made functions are available. So these things we are going to understand in the next class.
Okay, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's it for today.
Okay.